energizing your soul through the inspired Word of God. This is your daily devotional reading.
Our Daily Bread, October 10th. Habits of eating and drinking show whether we are of the world or not. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known, standing by a purpose true, heeding God's command. Honor them, the faithful few, all hail to Daniel's band. Hold the temperance banner high, on to victory grand. Satan and his host defy, and shout for Daniel's band. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Habits of eating and drinking show whether we are of the world or not. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. Our habits of eating and drinking show whether we are of the world or among the number whom the Lord, by his mighty cleaver of truth, has separated from the world. These are his peculiar people, zealous of good works. God has spoken in his word. In the case of Daniel and his 3 companions, there are sermons upon health reform. God has spoken in the history of the children of Israel, from whom, for their good, he sought to withhold a flesh diet. He fed them with bread from heaven. Man did eat angels' food, but they encouraged their earthly appetite, and the more they centered their thoughts upon the fleshpots of Egypt, the more they hated the food which God gave them to keep them in health physically, mentally, and morally. They longed for the fleshpots, and in this they did just as many in our time have done. Many are suffering, and many are going into the grave because of the indulgence of appetite. They eat what suits their perverted taste, thus weakening the digestive organs and injuring their power to assimilate the food that is to sustain life. This brings on acute disease, and too often death follows. The delicate organism of the body is worn out by the suicidal practices of those who ought to know better. The churches should be staunch and true to the light which God has given. Each member should work intelligently to put away from his life practice every perverted appetite. I know that many of our brethren are in heart and practice opposed to health reform. I advocate no extremes, but as I've been looking over my manuscripts, I have seen the decided testimonies borne and the warnings and dangers that come to our people through imitating the customs and practices of the world in self-indulgence, gratification of appetite, and pride of apparel. My heart is sick and sad over the existing state of things. Some say that some of our brethren have pressed these questions too strongly, but because some may have acted indiscreetly in pressing their sentiments concerning health reform on all occasions, will any dare to keep back the truth on this subject? The people of the world are generally far in the opposite extreme of indulgence and intemperance in eating and drinking, and as a result, lustful practices abound. This passage was taken from the Review and Herald, June 11th, 1914. Our Daily Bread, October 10th.
I encourage you to be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. Thank you for listening, and be sure to join us tomorrow for your daily devotional reading.